Hi, this is Stuart Fleming. Tonight we're going to be reviewing some relationships between entity objects, and I'm going to do an example using the employees entity or employees table actually. So we're going to start off and create a employee business component. Basically going to put this in the EO, and we'll make it singular, and put this in the VO area and shuttle this over and rename it. Oops. And a query-based view object, we have the, we don't need that. We're going to create the AM module in the AM package, which is basically a file system. And there we go. So now what you see here is along with the view object was created a relationship called a ViewLink. And what this does is it creates kind of an instance of itself, considering that the employee table has a foreign key unto itself to define the manager. It needs to be explained that way. And the entity object has a similar thing. This is the association. And what it does is in the app module, if we double click on it and go to data model, you can see that this would represent the manager, and this would represent the child or the manager's, not children, but manager's staff. Now, if we refresh the data object or data control, then we can actually see the employee. And if we go in, we can see all of the attributes. And hey, what is this? This is the actual representation of the child. Okay? And that is how the data control interprets the application module. Okay, so we're going to close this. I'm going to leave this open just because I need to work on that later. We'll create a ViewController, a JSF page. Choose JSF page. I'm just going to call it main. And just start off with a blank page. It doesn't really matter. And using this, we can actually drag over the child table over to this new JSF page and drop it on. And you have a number of choices. And in this case, we're going to choose the master detail because we want to really show the managers and the staff that work for them. So we're going to do that. We're going to take this. And it doesn't give you any choice over what controls you want at this point. So it just throws everything on there. But it does it automatically and pretty quickly, which is pretty darn nice. So just wait for it to continue on. And you can see that we have the form. I'm going to click on the form over here in the lower left, the structure window. And actually, I'm going to go down to the table. And I'm going to just remove some columns here. We don't need all of these. We definitely want the manager ID just for the sake. Okay, we're going to show now this form. I'm going to pause and start the WebLogic server. Actually, it started already, but it might take a little while. Okay, now we're at the first record here, and at the top it shows Stephen King, who is, I believe, well, I've probably changed the data here, but we can see now that we have all of these different managers and their staff. And isn't this cool? It does everything for you. Drag and drop, create a whole application in minutes. Well, does it? Why are these guys listed? These guys are not managers. This guy is because obviously they've got child records underneath them. But we've got a whole bunch of records displaying that are not child records. And what do we do about that? Unfortunately, this is where Jdeveloper gets to be a little bit more difficult than we would hope. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a little video on how to clean up your messes. So just bear with me, please. Okay, I've cleaned up all of the unnecessary objects that we had in the table. We got rid of the association, the view object, and I have no JSF page, having removed all the necessary requirements. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to have this. This is going to be the employee view. And what we want now is to have a manager view object. So we're going to create a new view object, right-clicking on the VO package. And then we can name it, and we'll call it manager. And it's going to be an entity based off of an entity object. And actually, we're going to use the same entity object that the other entity object is based off of. And it's going to be updatable. In this case, we want to grab the employee ID, the last name, and the first name. And I suppose we could put the department ID in there too. It doesn't hurt to have that. And then we go forward. This just allows us to look at each particular field. I'm going to leave them as is. And this is the where clause. Now, the where clause, I'm going to have to finish this and then go back into it. But the where clause, and the reason that I do that is because I have my where clause over here that we want. So we're going to say employee ID in. And we go over to query. And over here, right side above, there's a pencil. And we can write our where clause in there, and I'm going to get rid of that semicolon. You don't need to put the where clause in there, or the where word in there, otherwise it'll just scream and yell. But I will put order by entity last name and entity first name, removing that last comma. And we'll test and explain it. Looks like it's good to go. We'll apply and go. Okay, so now we have the main where clause. Now, we have these two objects, but there's nothing in between them that would actually help us here because we need to link them. Before they had a view link, I should say, that said, hey, this will be the father and this will be the child, or parent-child. So we'll create one, and you can do that, and I'll just put it in the same package, and we'll do a view link. We'll call the view link manager employee. And then we come over to here. Now you can see that we have the two objects here, and we'll choose the employee. This is the cardinality, by the way. It's 0 to 1. So I think I'll choose manager here. And okay, so we're going to get the employee over here, and then we're going to select the manager on the right side. And we press add, and we press OK. And we save it if necessary. We can close this out, close that out. Go over to our app manager. I was testing this, so okay, so we're going to, well, let's just refresh that. And open up the VO. We have the manager, and then we choose the child, and we move that over. So you have the manager and then the child. Okay, so let's save that. We can right-click on it and then run and press run. So now what we've done is, hopefully, we're going to find out, this is what the module tester is for, is we can go through, and first of all, we'll see all of the managers. There's not that many of them, and we quickly come to the end of that. But then we go to the second one, and now you can really see that we have a relationship. We have the manager, who is 148, and then you can see it. All of these have the manager of 148. They're also all in Department 80. And if we go to the next record by clicking here and then pressing the caret, we can see that all of these line up properly. So that's great. Now all we have to do is create a new JSF page. New JSF page. and we'll call it main again. Start off blank. And again, we're going to refresh the data control by clicking here on the refresh button. Then we have the manager, and we can then scroll down and we see the employee. We're going to drag and drop the child record over, create a master form and detailed table. And it's kind of the most appropriate for this kind of relationship. And it automatically creates the buttons for you. I'm going to move this over, and we'll press run in just a second. Okay, here we have it. We've got employee ID number 48, and you can see manager is listed all here, and department 80, and they're all department 80. Go to the last record. Interesting here that we have a record that is in department 80, but there is no actual or manager, but no department. Previous record, and you can see they all line up. So that's how you would create a master relationship, master detail relationship, where it doesn't really give you enough information to be able to show just the manager. You have to fiddle with it, create a relationship by choosing over here on the manager side, and over here what it links to, which is the manager ID. So have a good evening, and I hope this was helpful.